Hey, I'm Chris Cooper. I'm the founder of Two Brain Business, and I'm wearing the Two Brain jersey today because I am just so proud to bring you this show. Every month, I get on here and I do a leaderboard show for a different metric that we track in Two Brain. This month, it's revenue. And every month, those numbers go up and up and up. And every month, I turn around and tell you exactly how the leaders did it. Now, I've been doing this for over a decade. If you went all the way back through my blog archives, you'd find that I was giving advice from my perspective first back in like 2009, and then through the gyms that I mentored personally until about 2015. And now, because we track these metrics, we can tell you what the top gyms in the world are actually doing. And I'm going to share those things with you in a moment. But I'm just so proud that we're able to do this. See, you know, as a fitness coach, that the fitness industry, when it comes to fitness and nutrition advice, I mean, it's full of bullshit. And the fitness business industry is the same. There are a ton of people out there who are giving you all kinds of advice on what you should do with your business. And sometimes they're well-meaning. There are other gym owners who want to tell you what they've done in theirs, but those pieces of advice lack context. Like maybe it worked in one place, maybe it only works in Peru. On the other side of the coin, there are people who are deliberately misleading you by giving you advice without tracking any metrics. They want you to believe what they're telling you because they somehow make money on that. And it's really hard to figure out who that is. And so the reason that we give you these numbers before we give you the advice is because we want you to know that these are coming from gym owners just like you who started off with nothing and they've built to this level. They've done it with Two Brain mentors, but we can't take all of the credit. However, I am so proud that these gyms are on Two Brain. They follow our values. They're sharing willingly, like exactly what it took to get them there. And they're giving you that experience and advice so that you can do the same thing. Let's talk about revenue here. These are the high scorers in the Two Brain League. So first, we're looking at revenue, and these are all based in US dollars. The number 10 gym in Two Brain last month is from the States. They did $68,534 in revenue. Now, this is not profit. This is not what they took home. This is their top line revenue, and these are the top 10. Number 9 was from Belgium. And again, these are in US dollars, $69,981, $19 away from a $70,000 month. Wow, if I were them, I would call up my buddy Chris Cooper and say, buy a t-shirt so I can crack the $70,000 mark. That's a tip for everybody in Two Brain. In 8th place, this gym is from Denmark. $70,454. So far we've had a gym from the US, one from Belgium, one from Denmark. 7th place was a Canadian gym, and this is in US dollars though, $71,792 top line revenue last month. These are coaching businesses, folks. These are not the big Globo gym chains where, you know, their expenses match their revenues, or maybe they're even losing money. These are coaching businesses just like yours and mine. 6th place, $72,554. This was a US-based gym. 5th place, $74,176. Another US-based gym. 4th place, $74,603. Another US-based gym. And while I never get specific about these gyms because I do like to protect their anonymity in exchange for their information, I will say that this is a gym that is in one of these low-income areas in the US. Quite often, we hear gym owners making excuses for their low revenue, low profitability, inability to pay staff, inability to pay themselves. And one of the excuses they say is like, I'm in one of the poorest areas of the US. I think I've heard that from every single state. That is an excuse. It's in your head, and it's not a reason that you're not succeeding. This gym is proof. $74,603 in top line revenue last month. The 3rd place was from Ireland, which is amazing. We don't always see Ireland on these leaderboards, but they had $81,041 US in revenue last month. 2nd place, Denmark, $88,978 revenue last month. That's in US dollars. And our top gym last month was $99,905 US. Boy, oh boy, if they had sold 4 t-shirts, they would have been over $100,000 in revenue. And we have had gyms cracking that monthly. Now, look, guys, when you see ads from a lot of marketing agencies, they will talk about $1 million gyms. And what they're doing is they're running ads for 1 month, and that gym has a big uptake in revenue. is not sustainable usually. But then what they'll do is they'll take that 1 month of revenue and they'll multiply that by 12. And they'll say, oh yeah, well, you did that much revenue this month. That's going to continue forever. You're $1 million gym. The gym hasn't actually earned $1 million, but they're saying they did to get your attention. These gyms are actually earning over $1 million a year USD, and they're profitable. But we'll talk about that on another leaderboard. Let's talk about how they did it. Look, when we're looking at metrics in business, it's like looking at metrics in fitness. You want to know who the top performers are in each category, and you also want to know who the top performers are across the categories so that you know who you can copy. When you want to build up your deadlift, you want to look at the best deadlifters in the world. When you want to improve your 5K, you want to look at the best 5K runners in the world and copy what they're doing. Here is what the best revenue producing gyms in coaching worldwide are doing. The first person on the leaderboard today said that they are mining a new niche very deeply to stand out in their market, and that niche is Hyrox. Now, what's interesting when we push them further is they said, we do think that Hyrox is not a forever brand. And so we're using it right now to stand out in the market. Hyrox, if you're not familiar, is fitness racing. Their model is very attractive because it's very, very simple. It's the same race every single time, no matter where you go in the world. It's easy to host. You don't need like a big ski hill and a giant 3-day setup to do this. You can set it up in any gym. They have an affiliate model. And I'm not sure the value of that but this gym is training people to race in Hyrox. Another gym said that they are very focused on high value services, so personal training, and they do nutrition, lifestyle coaching, and that's it. They have a very high ticket service, which is great, but where most high ticket focused gyms have a very short shelf life, this gym actually has a plan to retain people long term. And so this revenue number is not just like a one-hit wonder. They're repeating it every single month. They know their metrics, they track their metrics, and they say that they expect this to continue. What did I just say about high ticket? Well, a lot of gyms that start selling high ticket, they'll collect a lot of money up front, and they find it very hard to sustain selling high ticket for a long period. This gym's done it for long enough to know confidently that they can keep doing it. They also have like continual services that are already selling and converting very well. The third gym says that they have created and packaged a very detailed and compelling offer that boosted front-end revenue and created downstream revenue by adding their on-ramp. Hey, there's a reason that we teach this to everybody. On-ramp is a good example of a higher value service. It's not exactly high ticket, but it's a higher value service to get people onboarded properly to your gym, to get them familiar with the movements, to introduce them to the community, and then segue them into either group classes or continual one-on-one. Gyms that do on-ramp also have enormous retention, on average about 23 months compared to the industry average of about 8, which means that not only are they making more money from the clients by providing a higher value service, they're keeping these clients longer and making a meaningful change in their lives. And that's what boosts revenue up. You don't just boost up revenue by doing more ads. You boost up revenue by creating more value for clients and keeping them long enough to see a sustainable change. That's why revenue is such a great metric. It's really a measure of how much you're helping people. I love this one. So this is their first time on the revenue leaderboard. They said that they used data to completely revamp their poor marketing process that had a bad show rate. Now they make sales faster and they close on the phone instead of giving people time to reconsider and cancel appointments. Now this is interesting, and this is really like the power of metrics. By going deep into their marketing funnel and breaking it down, they weren't scratching their head and saying, I think I need more leads. What they were actually saying is that we're getting leads, we're not converting them. How can we do this differently? And so they tweak that. That's the power of having metrics and knowing them. You can take control of your business instead of guessing. Many times, I'll tell you, when we hear, I just need more leads, we know to ask deeper questions. And then we quickly uncover that the gym owner feels like they don't have control over their business. They think that they need more leads. They know that they don't really know what they need, but they're hoping the lead solves their problem. Leads doesn't usually solve your problem. If you have control of your metrics, you have control of your business. And this gym is a great example. Here are a few quotes from the leaders. The first was, we've experienced a fairly predictable and steady climb in revenue, and this was the highest month of 2024. But as we move into 2025, we anticipate that these numbers will start to become the norm. End of their quote. The reason that they can confidently predict that is not because they've found some magic bullet. It's because they've systemized everything that they're doing to make it replicable. Let me tell you what I mean. When a lot of gyms back in, say, 2018 would start with a marketing agency that would run Facebook ads for them, they felt like they would hit the jackpot. I was one, I get it. We ran something that was called the New You Challenge, and the first time we did it, we had 34 people sign up at double our normal on-ramp price. Wow, amazing. I'm going to do this forever. And a lot of gyms put all their eggs into that basket. The second time they ran the challenge, and this isn't just to pick on New You, but there were a lot of similar challenges out there, and there still are. The second time they ran it, maybe they got 25. Maybe the leads were a little bit harder to close. The audience was a little bit colder. And the third time they ran it, it was like we got 16. And what they found over time was that these leads were not converting. They weren't sticking around long term. But they'd already made bigger bets, right? Like they'd maybe expanded their space, hired people on full time, made promises. And so, maybe we need to double our ad spend. And so they would just dig themselves deeper and deeper. And on the back end, what was happening was their current clients, who were great, would see all these new people coming in, getting attention, and they would start to say, things are changing around here, and they would go somewhere else. And so this tidal wave of new clients would come in, it would wash right out again, and it would wash away some of the good clients with it. And that's what would happen. But when you understand your metrics and you build your business with a mentor, you build systems that make what you're doing repeatable. You just heard from a gym who said, okay, we dug into our marketing metrics, we tweaked our conversion process. That's what I'm talking about here. You're not going like, ditch this marketing, stop doing Facebook ads, start doing this thing. You're not completely blowing up your business every couple of months. You're making fine tweaks, and that's what gives you control. The next person said, I expect our revenue to grow. Our target is to get to $83,000 months in revenue. And hey, as a note, this target is not far away. They did 81K this month. So why is 83K their revenue target, you might ask? Because they worked with a mentor and they said, like, what is conceivable, predictable, conservative growth based on what we're currently doing? And then they said, how do we get there? How do we do another $2,000 a month? And they worked with their mentor to make a plan to make an extra $2,000 a month. What will happen when they get to an 83K month? They'll set a new goal and they'll start working toward that with their mentor. It's never a wish and hope kind of situation here. It's never a set a big, hairy, audacious goal and it will come true. It's certainly not about like putting your wishes out to the universe and hoping that something happens. None of that. You are not going to manifest any kind of success unless you manually do the work to make it happen. Okay? That's a different topic. Next, this gym owner said, I'm expecting on average $83K a month for the coming month, which is about $10,000 more than they're currently making, but they've got a clear plan to get there. Again, it's not just wishing and hoping. It's not just like looking at last year and saying, oh, we'll do the same again without a plan. It's having a very specific plan. How will we make another $1,000 a month? How will we make another $2,000 a month? What can we do that's going to make us that money, and we can keep doing it over and over? See, another problem that a lot of gyms do that sabotages themselves is they try something once, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but they never do it again. They're on to the next thing. They don't have the entrepreneurial discipline to keep doing what they're doing over and over and over again. This gym said, we've seen this level of monthly revenue and even more over the last year. Since we started working with Two Brain, we've seen an increase of $135,000 in revenue in 2024 overall. Here are some other tips from the leaders. One said, we focus on consistent over-delivery of our services to our clients. We've developed an incredible environment and community. I don't think they're taking enough credit. I think as owners, they have leveled themselves up to being excellent CEOs. It's easy for me to say because I know who this gym is. I know who said it. And they have leveled themselves up, the owners, so much over the last year. They have lifted the ceiling on what's possible in their business, and that's why their business is growing. Most of us are holding our businesses back. I'm guilty. I'm certainly the thing that holds all my businesses back. Every time I improve myself as a leader, that point becomes clear because the business grows. Another gym said, our primary focus was on selling higher ticket items such as personal training, nutrition, and lifestyle coaching in our Kickstart program. Another said, we tinker with the offerings to maximize the revenue per square foot. This is an important point that I don't always get to touch on, but a lot of gyms waste space. They have massive overhead and expenses that serves no purpose. This gym is great at looking at every square foot of their gym and saying, is that square foot serving me? Or am I just basically throwing money at the landlord and the government in rent and taxes every month? Am I using that? Here's a few places where gym owners get this wrong. They think they're going to build community by having like a lobby area or a place with couches. They think they're going to build a good lifestyle for their coaches by having a coach's room. What they forget is that they're paying rent on that space. So that coach's room is costing them, let's say, $600 a month. Are they getting $600 a month in value back from that? Or would they actually do better to sublease that space and just pay the coaches the extra $600 a month in revenue? You have to look at every square foot of your gym and say, am I using this optimally? Your space is usually one of the biggest two investments that you'll make. You need to maximize your return on that investment. And a lot of gym owners who aren't making money are not using their space properly. You know, it's like you own a shovel, but you're only digging with the handle instead of actually using the shovel end. That's how you become efficient with your space. This next person said, we changed our membership to a minimum of 3 months at initiation and did more focused advertising for personal training. Very interesting. You know, they've got a group program, but now their advertising is really dialed in on the clients that they want. I don't recommend taking this until you've got a firm foundation in the advertising that you're doing for all of your services. But once you've got that, you can add advertising just for a personal trainer. Another one is we developed a program tailored specifically for beginners, incorporating accountability as a core element. The program is priced at $289 per month and serves as a great alternative in the No Sweat intro when personal training exceeds an individual's budget. To enhance its appeal, we repackaged it as a 6-week challenge using language familiar to the market. This program is offered at $599 for 6 weeks and includes additional value-added components. This approach significantly increases the initial revenue collected. Once the 6 weeks are completed, we transition participants into a monthly membership at $289. Amazing. What they did was they found something that would solve their clients' problems and offered that thing. It's not drop in and try my spin class, drop in and try CrossFit. It's what do people actually need as beginners to build the habits that will make them successful, and then building a product to serve that. That's how this is done. That's how you build a winning gym. That's how you play for the winning team. You build a client-centric business. You ask, what do these people actually need? And then you sell that thing, not what would I want to pay for, or what would my budget permit, or what do kind of the average people want? Not a guess, but what do the best clients in my gym want and need? What will change their lives? That's what running a client-centric business does, and these are the results. His next gym said, I'm an aircraft engineer, but over the last 3.5 years, I've turned my attention to the gym. It's paid off because we were around $350,000 in revenue annually, and now we're up to $750,000 a year annually. We appreciate the State of the Industry report and all that Coop publishes, all valuable. Thank you very much. I'm glad it's helping. You know, and the reason that we do this is to help you. It's the gym owner that's doing $35K a month or $3,500 a month, and you want to double that. This person has more than doubled it. They're doing very close to $1 million a year because they focus. They do one thing at a time. They listen to what their mentor tells them. They follow the data. They don't distract themselves with all these crazy ideas or even other careers. The next gym owner said that they focus on sales excellence. They said, we do a pre-qualifying call. We get about 100 Facebook leads, and we used to schedule consults, and only 30 of them would actually show up in the door. To improve that, we looked at how can we convert and filtering people in advance, and now we do a pre-qualifying call before the No Sweat intro where we explain our services and price. I don't recommend this for everybody, but when you get to the point where you don't really need more clients, you can start filtering them. If you're not doing a No Sweat intro, you need reps. You need to get people in the door, okay? If your close rate is poor, you need reps, like get people into your No Sweat intros. But if you've got a good close rate and, you know, lead quality is not the best, maybe you look at a pre-qualifying call. And again, I don't recommend this until you're at a certain size, experience, and skill as an entrepreneur. Now, finally, I wanted to give you some quotes about the gym using Hyrox. So this is what they said. They said, we're using Hyrox as a revenue stream. Coop says to figure out the niche and mine the hell out of it. So I wondered, what can we do that others can't do? And what we have is a huge open space that no one can really offer in New York City. So we saw an opportunity to offer the Hyrox training, and we'll be the leader in Hyrox training. 2 days a week, our slowest days are now low skill days to satisfy the clientele training for Hyrox races. We are pure CrossFit. We capitalize on the CrossFit name and on the low-tech Hyrox with its growing brand recognition. All right, last quote from one of our leaders here, and this is on marketing. This person said, we are 16 years in business and we consistently bombard the market with our marketing. New people will start at the gym and say, I feel like I know you already. Our manager, Mike, is like a local celebrity because of all the content we put out. We're also really effective at using Gym Lead Machine to send upcoming training sessions as well as newsletters twice a month with a 60% open rate to an email distribution list of 2,000. I saved that one for last because it's so near and dear to my heart. I've been using email marketing since before I even opened a gym, around 2000 when I was a personal trainer. That's where my clients were coming from. It's still effective. It still grows gyms. You might not read my emails every single day. That's okay. Most of your clients do. Remember that the people who are the average client in the coaching gym, and I'm including CrossFit here, are all over age 35 now. They read emails. They're on Facebook. They might not be on TikTok. They might or might not be on Instagram. You need to be where your best clients are and give your clients what they want, what will actually help them, instead of thinking about the thing that you're hooked on. Look, when I started a gym, I was a powerlifter and I opened a powerlifting gym. And I wondered why I wasn't attracting people who wanted to buy personal training. Instead, I was attracting my buddies, the stinky, big, loud, time-consuming powerlifters who were broke, by the way, like me. When I started looking at who my best clients were and building my business around them and what they needed and they wanted, my business started to grow. And this was the first step in becoming a better CEO, building a client-centric business. That's what these people are. You cannot get to $70,000, $80,000 a month in revenue without being a good CEO in the gym business. You become a better CEO by understanding your numbers, drilling down into them, and having a mentor who can help you get better. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym. If you want to surround yourself with other gym owners, go to gymownersunited.com. That's our free Facebook group. We've got over 10,000 other gym owners in there, including a lot of Two Brain mentors, alumni, and high earners like these.